This week's Haftarah details part of the pact we have for God, for lack of a better explanation. God tells us that He makes us Or Goyim, a light of the nations, or light to the nations. Commonly mistranslated or misquoted as Or Lagoyim, light to the nations. Or Goyim could be light for the nations, or light among the nations. A bright spot, if you will, or diamond in the rough. Either way, it hints that in some way we're special. Either we're different to the other nations. A light amongst the nations means we hold ourselves to a higher standard because we feel that we have a special mission in the world. Or that we're a light to the nations because we have a special mission. Both of them come to the same understanding, really. And there's obviously huge overlap. What does that mean? That means that we have to do what is right and what is proper. That doesn't always mean what's popular. People think of religious people as being kind, as having a degree of humility, of being gentle, of being peaceful. You know, that's true. We are kind. We do have a sense of humility, or at least we should. Being gentle, yes, where it's appropriate to be gentle. Being peaceful, yes, where it's appropriate to be peaceful. But as it says in Koheleth, the great wise King Shlomo says, there is a time for peace, there is a time for war. There's a time to be born, there's a time to die, there's a time for everything. Life is not one-dimensional. If someone comes to you with peace, you respond with peace. If someone brings the fight to you, you try to avoid the fight if you can. It's the first thing they teach you in self-defense class. You don't have to get into a fight if you can avoid it. Run away. Best defense, not to be there at all. Run. Get out of there. If you're cornered and you're stuck, then you fight your way out of the corner. There's no choice. But there is a time to stand up and to say, that's not okay, and to stand up for yourselves. There's a time to be gentle, forgiving, tolerant, to be understanding. Not everybody's in a certain place. You shouldn't be overly critical. But then there's a time where you need to stand up and you need to say, this is right, this is wrong. That's what I always say. Judaism is not nearly as hard as people make it out to be. Halakha is not as hard. Kashrut is not as hard. People make it much harder for themselves than it really is. But that doesn't mean anything goes. Sometimes the answer is just no. Hey, Rabbi, can I bring these pork chops in for the Kiddush on Shabbat? No, you may not. There's a lot of stuff that people think are rules that aren't rules. There are a lot of things people do to make themselves crazy that are not legitimate rules. They're just nonsense that have come up over the years. Putting stringencies and telling with stringencies. And it's important to do what's right. And that means dismantling the misconceptions. But sometimes the answer is just no. Sometimes the head of a community needs to stand up and say, who do you think you are? I'm the rabbi. I'm the leader. Sometimes you need to take the fight where it has to be taken. Not to be all peaceful and sit back and everything will be fine and let's just be chill and let's not. Sometimes you need to fight fire with fire. Sometimes that means resorting to some of our more base modes of operation. The Talmud says if someone comes to kill you, get up early, kill him first. It doesn't say fight back after you've been attacked. You know he's coming for you? Take him out. Sneak up behind him and shoot him in the back. There's no such thing as honor. You don't leave your life up to chance who's quick enough to draw first. You shoot him in the back. You know he's coming for you. You protect yourself. In that situation, it's deplorable that it's come to it. But the action is what is justified at the time. Everything has a time, everything has a place. Being Jewish means being that light. And it means to some degree we're meant to set an example of what it is to live with God. And to live with God means to decide always to do, to the best of your ability, nobody's perfect, let's be honest, but to decide to do, to the best of your ability, what is right. It's not always what's comfortable, it's not always what's easy, it's not always what's popular, but it's what's right. Stand up for what you truly believe is the right thing to do. Shabbat Shalom.